Hi guys, it is March 4th and today's homework is lesson 32, homework number 5E. So the problem says, well, hang on one second. 50 divided by the difference between 3/4 and 5/8. So we talked about a strategy that we could use to show this as an expression, like as a numerical expression, is to find the answer word in the problem. Here I see difference as my answer word. And above that answer word, we're going to draw the operation that it represents. And for difference, that's the answer to a subtraction problem. Then as soon as you find your answer word, you put parentheses around beginning with that, the difference between, and then you end with the numbers that match that. So when it says the difference between 3/4 and 5/8, I can get rid of that and put a subtraction sign in there. So we have 50 divided by, that looks like this, 50 divided by. So when I rewrite this as a numerical expression, we have 50 divided by, open your parentheses, 3/4 minus 5/8. Okay, so we talked about order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Multiply and divide, you move left to right depending on what order they go in the problem. Same with adding and subtracting. So sometimes you can divide before you multiply if it comes first in the problem, over to the left. So you want to work left to right when you solve multiplying and dividing. And for adding and subtracting, you work left to right across the problem. It doesn't always mean that you multiply before you divide. Doesn't always mean you add before you subtract. It's whatever comes on the left, you do that first when you get down to that step. So we're going to solve according to our order of operations. We're going to solve our parentheses first. We have 3/4 minus 5/8. Now we're subtracting fractions here, so I need to make sure that they have similar denominators. So I'm actually going to come over to the side and rewrite this problem. 3/4 minus 5/8. Now we have fourths and we have eighths. I know I can easily change those fourths to eighths because 4 times 2 is 8. So whatever we do to the bottom, we do to the top of the fraction. We're gonna times by 2 up here. 3 times 2 is 6. So my problem becomes 6/8 minus 5/8, which I know is 1/8. You can hear Henry playing with Legos in the background here. So I know that this part here was equivalent to 1/8, and I showed that work over here. So now I can bring down my 50 divided by. So we have 50 divided by 1/8. We can change, flip that into 50 times 8 over 1. Okay. Now we know that basically whenever there's a 1 on the bottom, it's just equivalent to the whole number, which is 50 times 8. So I'm actually going to take that problem, I'm going to box this one in, and I'm going to come to the side here and solve 50 times 8. 8 times 0 is 0. I almost said 8. 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 5 is 40. So I see that 50 times 8 is 400. And 1 times 1 is 1. So my answer here is 400, my final answer. So I'm going to box in that other work there separately as well. So again, your strategy here is to find your answer word. So our answer words are sum, difference, product, and quotient. Now sum is the answer to an addition problem, difference is the answer to a subtraction problem, product is the answer to a multiplication problem, and wow, I actually spelled that wrong, sorry guys. Quotient is the answer to a division problem. So these are things that you need to have memorized for Friday's test, because you're going to have a problem kind of like this on the test. So you want to be able to identify first what your answer word is in the problem, and then make yourself a note what operation that is. Then put parentheses around the numbers that go with that answer word. Here, difference was our answer word. It's subtraction. And they're talking about the difference between 3/4 and 5/8. So that's where our parentheses go around. Then look back here, 50 divided by, we want to match that. And then you keep the same order everything's in all the way across the problem. So 50 divided by, here's our parentheses to show the difference between 3/4 and 5/8. Because if it's an answer word, they're implying that that has been solved, 3/4 and 5/8 first, to make it the difference between. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Good luck with your homework, and tomorrow we're going to be reviewing for our end of module test on Friday. So parents, look for a review packet to come home tomorrow night that they can look over, and it really sets them up for success on the test. The test is going to be very similar to tomorrow night's review packet. We're going to start it in class and finish a couple of the problems at home, but they can always look back over that packet. I also have additional packets available that will have different problems in it that mirror those same problems that we're going to do in class. So if they want an extra practice tomorrow night with some additional problems that might have different numbers or different scenarios, I can provide that as well. Just let me know if you want the extra packet tomorrow sent home as well. Okay, I don't want to overload you with homework though, so but I do want you prepared for the test. So all right guys, good luck tonight, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I have a whole slew of shout outs that I promised today. Basically everybody in Mrs. Hand's class gets a shout out tonight. I had a big long list of names, but I don't want to forget anybody, so I'm just going to go through the entire class. So tonight's shout out goes to everyone in Mrs. Hand's class: Katie, Jewel, Emmy, Dylan, Kayla, Hunter, Ashlyn, Derek, John, Lucas, Tim, Fate, Paul, Connor, Cameron, Benny, Peyton, Theron, Alex, Brennan, Beckett, and Gracie. So can't wait to see everybody in class tomorrow. Have a great night.